Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we've come to Stonelock Bridge in Tonbridge, which James Christie had built in 1829, and the river that was going to be part of the Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal was constructed in about 1830 from Stonelock Bridge. So now I'm going to take you on to what would have been Stonelock and plod on from there. I'm going to go back up the path because we come out the way, so we can start the video. Lots of little bugs around today. Try not to leave her behind today. I'll just show you if you can see a view first before we go any further. Don't think we can see it, but the old bridge in the distance, just a railway bridge. Also we do have some tunnels where the river flows underneath. I'm going to take you further back on through here. Let's show you what would have been Stonelock. Now I'm supposing the river would have branched off from about here. I'll take you down to where I think it would have branched off from, up towards Penshurst. We're looking down onto the straight mile here. That way you can't see much because the trees are in the way there. Right down that way is known as the Green Mile. And to be honest with you, I can't think if this river was dug in about 1830 or it was 1739. There's no telling. Probably if you go further into the records, I think this might have been part of the original around about the 1700s. Anyway, should move back up onto Stonelock. And here we go, looking out over Stonelock. I'll take you a bit closer to it in a minute when I can. See where the old lock could have been there. And some of these bricks are actually for Stonelock. Apparently they was taken from Tonbridge Castle. Whether or not they would have been or not is another thing. As I say, they can't be 100% sure they were, but they do look castle origin. So, go up onto the Stonelock as well in a minute. So the river, yeah, like I said, it would have come from about here, down where I said, back down there with that little opening. Take you back there a minute. They come from about there. Been dug all the way up here. I think that's Glyn. That's Tonbridge River trips. That's Tonbridge River trips. Yeah. That's Bob. Bob? Yeah. Get a picture of that as well, if you can. That way towards the road. And this Tonbridge River trips there, disappearing into the distance. I mentioned them in my last video. So now we go up onto the stone lock. That's better. Get a closer picture in of the locks there. As I say, this lock was constructed in 1829 by James Christie's crew, his navvies. James Christie was described as an adventurer from Surrey. Maybe he's an entrepreneur. So it's looking back down what would have been Tonbridge, and it's looking up towards what would have been the Penshurst Canal. I don't know if you can see in the distance the two little tunnels there, but I'm going to take you a little bit further up in a minute. Stonework quite amazing. As I say, James Christie actually fled to America in the end, racking up liabilities of nearly 150,000. Makes you wonder who actually fit the bill for that one. That's life on the river. Carry on. I'm going to try and find where the waterway would have gone from Stone Lock. James Christie actually bought the main Tonbridge water mill for an inflated sum of 20,000, which gave him the rights of the River Medway, which made everybody else worry because his plans were to divert the water, I think, into the Penshurst Canal, which would have left the other barges bottomed out on the riverbed. So there's a big thing about that as well. I'm going to just bring you back up to the Green Mile so you can see people enjoying themselves on the river down there. And the water boards. So the sun's come out today, which is nice. Been here before. This is Penshurst Bridge. Now we're going to go and try and hunt down the original course. We've actually come to a place which a lot of people will know as the Shallows, which was originally part of the river as well, that joined onto the Medway, but it's been capped. But there's actually a fast flowing river, and it's called the Shallows because they wanted a shallow point for crossing the river to get over to where they had to go. So, another arch bridge here. So this was probably the original part of the Medway as well, as you can see down there. The duck disappearing into the distance there, trying to go away. I'm just going to take you over to the other side here. A bit wet on this path. So the water would have come along here and joined onto the River Medway. Now I'm thinking the Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal would have come along here, but we're having trouble finding out where the source would have actually gone. There's Rainbow Bridge, new bridge there. You know, so we might get a train come past today on the bridge as well for the train spotters. People that like to see the trains. We're just going up over Rainbow Bridge now. And my guessing is, unless I'm wrong, this was the shallows, always been known as the shallows because of its shallowness, which would have been the original source part of the river, but was capped. So bridge, might get a train come along in a minute. Before we get back onto the river course, I thought I'd show you the structure, which is the A21 that goes to Hastings and Tonbridge. It's taken quite a while to build this bit of line, bit of road here, sorry. Take you under the bridge as well, before finding out where this original river course for the Penshurst Canal would have been. I think I'm actually looking at it right now, to be honest. Trying to locate where the plans would have actually been is quite difficult sometimes. This is standing under the A21 with the railway right beside us. Now, looking at the maps, they're quite difficult to try and fathom out where it actually would have gone, and I'm pretty sure it would have gone where we're looking now. It would have just carried on somewhere along here. Looking at the map, it would have, the railway line's here over this side and the river's over that side. Now they were never too far away from the railways back in the 1800s. And that way's looking back towards London and so on, depending where you want to go. Here's another structure here, railway line. That's the Tonbridge to Red Hill line, just for the railway lovers. People are like seeing these kind of structures. And we can get out of the glare of the sun so we can get a decent picture in. The arches there. Red Hill off that way, Tonbridge back off that way. And I'm going to take you to where the river would have gone into Penshurst. It would have gone off that way. Is my believing is off that way up into Penshurst. So Stone Lock is actually positioned in a bit of a weird at a weird angle, so we don't know without the maps, the proper maps, or the plans, which nobody. I wonder if Parliament has a copy of the plans. Would have once been. It's difficult to say, but there might be in the local library. Probably going to carry on anyway. I'm going to take you up to James Christie Bridge. That's why I'm thinking that it would have joined on over here where the bridge is, with the river, up towards Penshurst, connecting onto the main route. Just going to show you the structure of the bridge from this side. Very well made. But back when we have the wet weather, all this floods along here, saying what all the embankments are. It's quite obvious what the embankments are. All this floods the whole lot. I'm going to turn you back on. Continuing our walk up the Green Mile. And here we have Haysden Lake, so I'm going to quickly just show you Haysden Lake now. And the boats are not out today, unfortunately. Let's take you down to where the lake is now. And here's Haysden Lake. A21 in the background there. Continuing our walk up towards James Christie Bridge. The original river course, they was hoping to start from Maidstone and for it to go all the way up to Forest Row. Well, it didn't go any further than Tonbridge in the end, and Tonbridge town lock was actually paid for and built in 1747. So we're just trying to find James Christie Bridge now. Joe's caught up. I'm going to take you over another bit first, so I can get a clear shot of where I'm thinking the original Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal would have been. I'm going to take you off here. Just want to take you up on the bridge first before we go up onto James Christie Bridge. The other pathway. Where the A21 flood barriers are now, flood storage area, built in 1982. That was just a normal weir there, which there are plans to upgrade that. So back in the 1800s, it was probably just a weir, and I'm thinking this would have been the original route where the Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal would have gone. Take it up onto the bridge so we can get a clear picture of the river here. Take onto the bridge. please feel free to comment on this video, because if I am wrong, it might be. Up the river that way towards Penshurst. Now looking down that way back towards Tonbridge now. That's my guess on where the river would have gone. So we're going to go back now to try and find James Christie Bridge. It's a strong old bridge. So let's go back this way. There. For people that like the rivers. There's a little. I'll show you this one here. A little. This is what I like. I like to find little things like this. Just a little outlet. And that goes into Hazelden Lake. I'm pretty sure it does. So. We have now reached James Christie Bridge. I think this was put here in memory of him. I'll just cross over it. Also going down to Hazelden Lake there. Now this is where I'm thinking the original course would have been. Connecting up on the bridges further over that way where we were just a moment ago. There's James Christie Bridge there. As I said, James Christie did rack up a debt of nearly £150,000. And then he fled to America, leaving the liabilities behind him. I'll try and get you down to see the structure of this bridge here. James Christie Bridge from the side of the river. We've just reached a bit further along the river, so I'm just going to show you a bit more. It's another bridge where the canal would have gone. Trying to get as much detail in of the route as I possibly can here. So I won't be able to get it all in because most of it goes through private land and there's no footpaths going through there. So I'm going to try and get as much in of the route as I possibly can. I doubt very much of these bridges would have been here back in the 1800s because the old barges with the timber on them wouldn't have been able to get up there if the Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal would have gone ahead. This battle was going on from 1829 to 1831 and finally it was thrown out by Parliament in 1831 due to the debt James Christie had racked up. So that way looking towards Penshurst. And this way back towards Tonbridge. So now we're going to try and hunt down a little bit more of the river, which would have been the original route. Just step that down. This is what I like. Got some steps up to the bridge here. Some beautiful countryside over there as well. And off the bridge. I wonder what we've come to a pillbox here. It could have been about 1940. they were coming to see them. Bit difficult getting over to that one. I'm gonna have to leave that one for another day, I think, when I do some more pillboxes. But you can see a very wide opening there in the river. Carrying on the path as much as we can. Would have been the Penshurst Canal. We come to Lie now. As you can see in the distance there is another pillbox. Towards the road. So the Penshurst Canal would have come up as far as this. I'm going to take you further down. Would have gone off that way as well. Although we managed to make it into Penshurst, where the plan was for the canal to come from Tonbridge to Penshurst. The first bridge we come along, I don't think this wouldn't have been the original waterway, but I thought I'd get to show you that it would have been there. Now, walking along further, yeah, it's too narrow there for what would have been the Penshurst Canal there. You might like to see, people that like to see this kind of things, see the architecture of the bridges and the little rivers running there. It's just more countryside here. Looking up this way a bit further. Joe's getting tired now. Some more countryside up here. I say from Tonbridge, I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, the river was dug from Tonbridge up to Penshurst, and then on about 1830, so I might be wrong on the dates, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the river was there, but they just wanted to make it navigable to get from Tonbridge to Penshurst, where they would have carried timber on the barges. I'm going to take you to where the Penshurst Canal would have come along, where I'm thinking it would have come along, but where it would have docked if they had gone ahead with it is another thing. Here's the bridge there, and here's the Tonbridge to Penshurst Canal, which would once have been. I'm going to take you further over the road in a minute. You're looking at the architecture of the bridge here. That's the architecture of the bridge, which is rather nice. I'm going to take you across the road. My guessing is, if the Penshurst Canal had have been, it would have come down through here and it would have docked either this side of the road or that side of the road to carry timber. I'm going to put the GoPro down here as well. To realise where the Penshurst Canal would have been. I'm going to cross back over the road a minute. Keeping it on some countryside. right here. And we are also down down in Penshurst Place at the moment, and it does get very wet down here when the rivers get swollen. It's actually a beautiful part of the Well Penshurst. You can get the chance to come down here and explore down here. I'd highly recommend it. But until the next time, thanks very much for watching the video, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.